Hey there, welcome to our Curate webinar where we demonstrate the new features and upgraded features that we've released over the past month. We've got several features that we're going to highlight today. So I'm Shannon, I'm the Director of Customer Success here at Curate. We're joined by Mackenzie, she is our Curator Success Manager. So a lot of you, I'm sure, are familiar with her helping you get in the system and training in the system. I am going to share my screen and let's go ahead and jump in. All right, hopefully everybody can see my screen okay. So we're going to start with just a couple of features. A lot of the features that we're looking at today are available across plan levels. There's just a few features that are specific to certain plan levels, so we'll be sure to point those out whenever we come to those features. Right here, we're going to start in markup. So we're going to actually start with one of those features because we're kind of starting on the outside of an event. So down here in complex markups, what complex markups does is it allows you to set a certain markup across a recipe or a line item, but then you can add an additional markup for a special item within that recipe instead of applying it across all of those items. So I built a couple examples for you. So over here, we've got our corporate markup. We want to do a 4-time markup for any recipes that have that markup. But then for our rental items, we don't need actually any extra upcharge on those items. We're just going to do a one-time markup, which means no markup at all. We're just going to charge the price that we have set in the system. Another example that I set up here was this food and beverage markup right here. So across the board, we have a markup of 250% for our food and beverage items. Anything that's categorized, anything that we want to put that 250% on, we can. If we do want to do something special, so on the bottom, I said supplies. That's going to get a special markup of 150%. These are items that we're not doing a lot of work for, but we want to make sure to increase that cost just a little bit for a convenience fee for our customers that we're gathering these items for them. So this could be things such as disposable items that we are going to include whenever we are delivering the food. So any sort of supplies that we put in there, they may have a special markup. So this feature is available on the team plan and above. It is a great way of making sure that you're managing your cost and then you're pricing appropriately within your recipes as you're building these out. The second feature that I want to take a look at, you're going to access right over here in the integrations tab. So I'm going to jump over there. And that we have several integrations here. So if you haven't checked out our integrations tab, definitely check that out. The one that I want to kind of talk about a little bit right here is this Nowsta integration. So a lot of times we see people that are more on the venue side that they're using the Nowsta integration, people that are on the catering side that are using the Nowsta integration. This is specific for people that are managing personnel for their events. So sometimes we see these in others in rental industry or floral industry. Usually it's going to be on the venue side and the catering side. What this does is this allows you to sync your data with Nowsta, allows you to send it over to Nowsta and create those events within your Nowsta calendar. So it makes it a lot simpler to make sure that your data on the Curate side and your data on the Nowsta side are in sync. So if you build something in Curate, that's information should send over to Nowsta with the basic event details about that event. So just kind of a time saver, and you can kind of go in here and you can manage, how do I want that data to sync? How do I want that to work out? You can go in there and manually sync information as well. So if you have any questions about that, definitely reach out to us. This is included in the scale plan and above. For this specific integration, we find that this does go with people that have a bigger staff that they need to manage. All right. It was kind of fast and furious, but now I'm going to jump into the next section that we're really going to highlight today. So this one is going to be in the proposal itself. So now I have a proposal here I like to use whenever I'm just demonstrating features in the system. The first one I'm just going to take a quick look at down here is you might have noticed that we made some changes here in our event timeline. So you want to click on this edit button over here, and You can go over here and you can add different timeline events that go in here, but we've got kind of a sort of different editing experience here. This is building up to what we've been talking about with the changes that you're going to see coming soon in the proposal. So come back next month because we're likely going to be talking about some of those different changes that we made or that we're in the process of making when it comes to the aesthetics and the customization of the proposal. We've talked to several customers about it. So that may have been you, but join us next month because hopefully we'll be kind of demonstrating some of those pieces at our next product announcement webinar. So this is where you go. You can enter address information, date and time information, all of those things here, and kind of like rearrange those. Those will rearrange based on the date right here. You can change the header if you want to make it something else. Some people like to call it like dates and locations or something like that sort of section, whatever that means for you. Just a heads up, if you do not want to enter information for the timeline, if that's not a key for you, you can always toggle that off for your customer up here, as well as the inspiration board. It's sometimes we find that this cover page is enough for when it comes to photos. You can toggle off that inspiration board over here. So that was just like a little side feature here. Another thing that we have done based on customer request was try to make it faster to do the uploads for images. So if you go in here, so I'm just going to jump into my image board right here and say that I want to replace this image. I can find another image that I may want to use here. So such as this one, we're going to add some coffee pieces in here. I'm going to change that image. You'll notice that it's no longer requesting for me to reformat that page whenever I'm adding images into the proposal. So that's one piece that we've adjusted there as to where it's not requiring you to make those edits when it comes to adding photos to try to make that a little bit more seamless. The next one that we're going to take a quick look at, this one is highly requested, so I'm super excited to show this one off today. Is this portal messages section. So if you have not explored portal messages, definitely check it out. Usually what I see people do whenever we're looking at how they use their Curate account is the first time that they share a proposal, they will go through the share button up here at the top. And this is where you can send it over to your customer. You can really create a nicely formatted email to send over to that customer. But after that, we have our portal messages section. So in this section, you can just write a comment for your customer. And this is more of just like a quick message. It will send an email to your customer and they will have a link into that proposal. That customer, in addition, can simply respond to that email and that information, her response, will be logged right here within this same portal messages area. So super great for making sure that you're staying on top of all of that interaction between you and your guest. I really recommend checking it out. You do need to toggle it on for the particular proposal that you're using it for, but you can do that over here. You do need to be the event owner in order to use this. To use this feature in that specific proposal. It's a great way to see that back and forth. And I love that it's got the timestamps on there. So it's very clear about when things happen so you have a better understanding of how to manage that event with your customer. Okay, that was kind of a lot, but I'm going to jump over to our orders. All right, now here in the order section, this is where we really manage our line items. We've made a couple of updates here that I really want to show off. So the first one that I'm going to do is on the back end. I'm going to jump into this table centerpieces line item. And I'm going to take a look at my recipe. So here I went ahead and created a small floral recipe. Works very similarly for whatever items that you're managing on the back end. You can do so. You can see that we have now set it up to where the component items will sort based on alphabetically. They'll sort alphabetically. which was highly requested. In the past, we had them according to the way that you entered them, so as more of like a stream of thought, but we found that it made a difference for you to know how to go back and make edits and changes to them. So we have resorted that based on request, and so now they resort alphabetically. So that's a small feature change, but our customers, so far, we've got really good feedback on that one. Another feature is what we call per person pricing. So this is one more on the catering side that we see this more specifically. This is dependent. I'm going to pop out here the event details really quickly. This is dependent on having a guest count entered on the proposal itself. So it's pretty normal. Loosely, people will enter a guest count there. But then in the workroom, in the individual sections, you can enable per person pricing. So here in our beverages package that we have in our order, I can go over here to this eyeball and I can show the section per guest pricing. So this section totals out to 11,500. We have 100 guests there. And then, so this totals out to $115 per guest. So you can easily reference it here, but additionally, it is going to show in the proposal so that your customer can see that as well, and you can point that out to them right here at the top of that section. So in that section itself, you can see that we do have 100 guests. We have entered our quantity of 100. The price per person is $115, and the subtotal is 11,500. So it's going to take the totals of all of those items and then build it out into a per person pricing. The next one, I guess I could have done this one earlier, but I'm going to hop back over to the orders. This is going to be my last one, Mackenzie. I'm going to pass it over to you. So on this one, the last one that I wanted to demonstrate was copying and pasting recipes. So if you have not seen this feature, it is a really big deal. If I jump back into my recipe, I've built out my simple centerpieces recipe. I can go in here and I can copy my recipe ingredients. So I've got my eucalyptus, hydrangea, and tulips, but this works for whatever ingredients are located back here in your recipe. And I can put those in another line item. So I'm just going to go in this linens and decor one because I know that I'm going to use these as I'm working through that decor. And I can paste my recipe ingredients right there. So you can see it pulls those ingredients exactly as what they were in that particular line item. And I'm able to paste them right here to get that. So I can have this as a starting place. So I know that I can do 2 eucalyptus or 1 hydrangea and really 6 tulips. We're really going to emphasize that. You can make those changes right there within that recipe. And that wraps it up for me. So Mackenzie, I'm going to pass it over to you. Let me stop sharing my screen and Mackenzie's going to share her screen.
Perfect. Thanks for showing us through all of those great new features. We're going to keep it rolling. I'm going to go into a couple more features and then we'll wrap up for the day.
Perfect.
So I'm going to go over templates. So we have added a templates tab in the left-hand navigation bar. You can see if I click into templates, it's going to show me orders templates, event details templates, payments templates, and contracts templates. Templates are going to be a really, really big time-saving piece for you as you work through your account. I'll kind of go through each of these tabs really briefly, but you can see where you can add an orders template. Examples here could be like a wedding menu if you're a caterer, or you could have a full bridal wedding order template. So you can build out the different order templates here and have those saved for you to pull into your orders at different times and for different events. For the event details section, this is just going to be the information page if you click into an event. So you can pull like any kind of internal notes over as an example. Maybe you have internal notes that are different for corporate versus weddings. So you can pull in event details into that event details page. So you've also got the payments template. So these are just going to be different payment structures that you have built out that you could pull into the payment section. And then the last one is the contract. So you can pull over different contract templates into the different pieces of your contracts tab. So just as an example, I'm going to go into my other tab up here, and in the orders tab in a proposal, you can see where there's going to be an option to pull in your different templates. You can click on more than one and add those all to your order if you'd like. So you can really, it's really configurable and you can just pull in whatever you need. Same for payments, you can grab those templates, and then same for the event details page where I was talking about. So some really great features in the templates tab here. We're going to keep moving along to an update to the catalog. So let me go to my catalog tab. Under products, you can see here where, if you don't know already, you are able to do a bulk import for both products and your components. So this is going to be really helpful if there's a lot of data that you need to pull into your Curate account. You can use our bulk upload tools. But we have added a new column in the bulk upload tool labeled tags. So you're going to be able to go into like a spreadsheet wherever you're working on like an upload. This is just an example. It's pulling all those columns there. This is just in a Google Sheet here, but you can add all kinds of different tags and you can separate those tags using commas. So where you would find tags in a catalog item is, let's just go into a gold Chiavari chair, for example. You're now going to be able to bulk upload different tags that are attached to different catalog items. So the bulk upload tag feature is what we've just added. Can be really helpful there. Next, we're going to go into the inquiries tab. So I'm just moving along across my tabs up here at the top, but you now have the option to email your customers directly from like a new inquiry. So for example, we have Melanie who has just sent in our website form. So we can see it's a new form inquiry here. So if I click into it, you can see there's an option now to send an email. So if I click send email, you can email Melanie with an email template that you've built out in settings. And that's just a really quick way to send customer follow-ups after they fill out and send in the forms. So in this specific example, you can see I built out my email template. Of course, I can change up different things like adding another person in here, or I can change my subjects if I want, but I can just really go in and be able to decide which email template I'd like to send as soon as Melanie sends in an inquiry. So super great to fast track the process, maybe getting different meetings set up. Like for example, I added in mine here, you can add different meeting links or a link to a different form or all kinds of stuff, but it's just helpful to fast track the process of getting in touch with those new inquiries. Next, we have the reports tab. So in reports, we have a couple new things here. One of them is, as you can see, there is going to be the event ID over here highlighted in blue. So that means whenever you go into your reports and generate any kind of report, you're now going to see a event ID, and you can actually click into each ID and it's going to open you up into that event. So super great feature here. It just helps also fast track processes and getting you into different events and data quicker. You also have, if you are on the enterprise level, you do have the option to pull up a accounts receivable report. So you can see here this top line, I can pull up my accounts receivable, and this is going to show you a different type of report that you might find really beneficial. You're going to see where it's going to show any payments that are still made for specific events, and then also any balances that are still due or like any remaining balances on an event. So that is the accounts receivable report. Super awesome report, but that is available for the enterprise level customers only, but it's really, really helpful. I'm actually going to go and show you one more thing on the reports here. So we have added the option to decide whether you want to showcase the archived events or not on your different reports. So if you go over to this little filter button here, you can click on archive, this drop down, and you can decide if you want to exclude any archived events. So you can see, for example, Ethan and Elizabeth, this event is already archived. So I want to go ahead and just make sure I don't want to see this on my report right now. So we can go ahead and make sure that is generated so it's not showing any of my archived events. So you can really pick and choose and decide what kind of events that you want to see. And using the other filters over here, you can do the same for statuses and all kinds of other things. But we did add the exclude archived feature to our reports. I think that's all I have on my end. So Shannon,
Amazing.
to lead us out, that would be amazing.
Yes, 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 that was so good. I know we went through a lot of features really fast today, but we are definitely open for questions. If you guys have any questions, you can either put it right here in the chat for the webinar, and we could kind of take a look right now if you prefer. You can always just know that you can always reach out to chat. We have chat, and it's one of our actually, it's one of our most popular features. And it's not really a feature of the software. It's just something that for support to kind of help our customers. So
Mhm.
do reach out and chat if you have any questions. Send us any messages right here in the webinar. We can take a few more minutes to kind of look over those. And then I generally just want to say thanks. A lot of the features that we release are what we call customer led. So those ideas for features or improvements in the system, they come from our customers. We try to build towards what our customers need, what they want, what they're telling us. So if you have suggestions, please do reach out and let us know if there's something that you think would really help your business. We want to know those things. So do let us know. Send us it in chat. Send it to us. You know, if you have talked with somebody here at Curate, just send it over to them so that we can submit those things and try to work them in as we're improving the system. So
Yeah,
let's
thank you,
see.
Karen. One more thing I did want to
Yeah,
add is if you would like to take a look at any of these features or the upcoming new released features at any time, you can actually jump into your chat feature, click on news, and you can go through each and every one of the weekly product updates, and it's going to go through videos, it's going to go through the different points. So exactly what we talked about today, it also is over here in news if you need it. So it's really helpful to go in and kind of educate yourself every week about what's new. But yeah, you can also locate
amazing.
that here, and then you can also jump into our help center and just type in any kind of keyword that you might need if you need help as well. If you're the type of person who wants to kind of go search for answers yourself first before talking to someone in chat, this is where you can do that. So, yep, just wanted to make that note as well.
Amazing. Let's check. We don't see any Q&A that have come through. So I think that we're good to wrap up. Please join us next month for our next product webinar. We'll be sure to put out an announcement reminding people if you would like to join. We definitely want to have you be involved. Send over any questions, any suggestions that you may have, and we're happy to take a look. All right, you guys have a
Thank you
great
so
weekend and a
much.
great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.